Alrighty. Hello. Doesn't look like anyone is in chat just yet. Leave things up for a moment. Alright, looks like someone is in the chat. Hello. How you doing? Also, who are you? I can't tell who anyone is unless they speak in the chat, so yeah, okay. So this is essentially just going to be me redoing what I did yesterday. Because I did not actually stream, unfortunately. But that's okay. It was just me talking for an hour and a half to myself. But, it was still a fun time. I will retread those same paths from yesterday, but that's all good. I mean, at the very least, I got some practice reading again out loud, which I haven't done in quite some time. So, yeah, not all bad. Also, like, I have somewhat already set up my my soldering kit and everything, because later on I will be opening up this box of little robot things that I can put together and solder. Barely did any soldering for it already, so it's not going to be a huge issue since I didn't really make any progress. I just broke some of the pieces off of that off the circuit board that they were on. So apart from that, I mean, yeah, I didn't really miss much. I'm just going to reread the issue from yesterday, which was issue number 3 from the Sandman. And yeah, so that's all I really have to say as like a bit of an intro. Let me just grab the book, which is right over there. 1 second. There we are. All right, so I guess what I can start with is an intro as to like what's actually going on, like what happened in the last 2 issues of Volume 1 of the Sandman, since it has been a while since I did those first 2 issues. Yeah, you can see me, Alex, this time. That's pretty good. It does have like a giant end stream button on YouTube this time, so I would hope that it's actually working this time around. Also, I can see the view count as like there's like a separate screen now that I'm actually live, which I guess kind of indicates that things are actually running properly. Now I know what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, so without further ado, I mean, the first two issues for the Sandman, what happened? So, issue number one, obviously, Sandman gets captured, and he ends up being imprisoned for like a century or so. I don't know if that's the same length of time as like between the show versus the comic. I don't recall the specifics of that. I think the comics actually take place in the 90s or 80s or something, whenever Gaiman initially wrote the book, whereas in the show, the time skip essentially goes to present day, so it's like an extra 20 to 40 years. But I don't really think that's a huge issue, to be honest. Um, yeah, so there is that. After he gets released at the end of that whole story, or that initial issue, he ends up being freed and imprisons like the son of the initial person that imprisoned him in like an endless sleep. So that's kind of how issue one number ended. Number what? That was a weird slip. Okay, that's how issue number one ended. And yeah, issue number two is him trying to find the first item on his list of the three tools that he had lost. And that takes him all the way to visiting Constantine. For those who don't know, Constantine is a character within the DC universe who is a magic user. He ends up getting the pouch of Sandman, which, to be honest, I don't really know the big distinctions between the three pieces and how they alter slash increase his abilities. All I really understand is that part of his power is in those different items, and so he needs them back, right? I just realized, I think that is this focusing just on my microphone? Is that why it keeps de-blurring on my face? I don't know. Or it keeps blurring on my face. Regardless, what was I saying? So he ends up finding out that his three items are in three different locations. One of them's with Constantine, or it was once held by Constantine. Goes over to Constantine, they have a little adventure. Turns out that Constantine's ex has the pouch because he left it there. He left for a job one day and just decided not to return because he's a bit of an ass. And so he goes back there, and we find out that the pouch has affected her physically, mentally, all of that, and it is killing her. And long story short, the Sandman ends up giving her one final happy dream as she's sent off to death. And that's kind of how that story or that journey ends, except now Morpheus is going down to hell to see Lucifer and to figure out which demon has his helm. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at in the story. So as a reminder, I'm not going to actually be showing my comic really that much now, because I don't know what the copyright laws are, and so my suggestion is finding a way to read this for yourselves. I believe there is a method in which you can read this online. That is up to your own discretion, though. Definitely read it on a legitimate source, obviously. But yeah, let me see. I believe I have. Yes, okay, here it is. Check Discord. It is obviously a legitimate source. People of the Aether out there who will attack my channel, because obviously we're all reading official copies of the Sandman, just like myself. I mean, there's no evidence to the contrary of that. Anyway, so once you're ready, just let me know. I will wait a second, and then I will get started. I'm just gonna open up the correct page. You got it? Okay. All right, and it's issue number 3. The cover should look like this. Yeah. Also, I did this yesterday and no one responded, which should have been another clue, to be honest. Um, but on this cover, can you take a gander at who this artwork is of? You'll find out, I guess, once we start actually reading it. But I think it is pretty obvious once you realize where this issue is taking us in the, I guess, the realms slash space that is this story, like in the larger cosmic landscape or whatever. And also like the red and just everything about it. It's a very good cover. But yeah, you could probably guess who it is. As we go through, I also mentioned where we're actually going in the story, so that might also make a little bit of sense there. Yeah, so that being said, let's get into the story. Alrighty, so let's jump in on page 1. For the 100th time, since I regained it, I reached into the pouch and touched the sand. I just have a meme opened up on Discord. Let me close this so that I don't get distracted. There we go. I sift it through my fingers. Feel each grain of it. Inexhaustible, endless. Like myself. Like the few others of my kind. Endless. Tonight, I feel alone. I have always been solitary, but here on the nightward shores of dream, loneliness washes over me in the waves, lapping and pulling at my spirit. I sprinkle sand into the waters of night, the grains burning as they fall, reminding me of another in times long passed away. I watched him even then as he fell, his face undefeated, his eyes still proud. It is time for me to walk the abyss, time to reclaim my own. I must talk to the morning star. Can you guess who he's referring to? Can you? If you have a guess, I mean, go right ahead. I think it's somewhat obvious if you've seen other media with this particular character involved in other shows or things like that, as to who the Morning Star actually refers to. Also, like just the artwork as well and the way that he describes this character, very, very well done. And obviously also in the actual image, which I mean, you guys probably already see it, but the sparkles of stars and stuff like that. I really like the imagery and stuff and the description here, even before you see the actual character they're talking about. Okay. I do not have high hopes for this meeting. And the chapter or issue is called A Hope in Hell. Do you get it? You get it? Anyway. So now Morpheus is jumping off the little pier that he's standing on. The wind that blows between the worlds chills me as I fall. Suppose I fail. I cannot bluff demons as I bluffed the errant dreams with Constantine. But I have the pouch. I have a modicum of power. I have hope. And I stand here alone and afraid in the naked space at the gate of hell. Okay, so another piece of artwork that I really, really love is just him standing on the gates of hell, which, let me zoom this in. Let's see. Will it focus? Maybe not. Zoom in a bit more. Yeah, it just does not want. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, so I really like about this. What I really like about this is the artwork of like just the humans creating the gate of hell, essentially, and then also like it's all throughout. Even though this side isn't as detailed, but you can still see the shapes there. Looks very, very cool. Also, Morpheus's cape looks pretty dope with the extra color here as well. Gong, gong, gong. He's just banging on the gates. Got a talking head. Ah, master, there's one at the door. Lord Squatterbloat, Master, there's one at the door, at the gate of damnation. Is it thief, is it thug, or whore? There's one at the door, and there's room for one more till the end of creation. There's one at the door, at the gate of damnation. Huh. Greetings, Squatterbloat. I wish to have, uh, nah. I wish to talk with your master. Take me to him immediately. Oh yes, my clown, and who might you be? I have many names, but I am the king of dreams, of the nightmare realms. I seek Lord Lucifer, the lord of hell. So where's your crown? Some demon has stolen it. I have come to hell to get it back. Oh yes, my clown, you're new to town, so where's your ruby? I will take no insults from you, little demon. Guard your tongue. Lucifer will not be kind to one who insults an honored guest, and I am an honored guest in this realm, as I am the monarch of my own. Ugh. Splock. Chunk. Just tosses this dude to the side. Oh yes, my clown, and who might you be? Back at your gate and duty, Squatterbloat. I'll take the Dream Lord, play his guardian. For innocents abroad need guides of note, and who notes more than me, than Etrigan? Just so you guys know, Etrigan is a pretty well-known demon, I guess, in DC Comics. He was bound by Merlin to I believe it's Arthur, and I mentioned this yesterday too. I didn't get a solid memory as to if that's correct. I don't know too much about Etrigan's curse and binding to like a mortal. I'm pretty sure he was bound to Arthur. However, he looks very, very iconic, and I remember seeing him in some animated properties back when I was younger, and so he does look a little creepier in this comic, though, just like with the way that his chin is shaped and everything. All right. Etrigan, yes, Merlin's demon, the half-man. I remember you. So you're a rhymer now. You've risen in hell's hierarchy, I see. Things change this way. Things change in earth and hell. To rise among the fallen, strange and true, but as things change, Lord, they transmute as well. And if I've changed, O King, then what of you? I have been absent, but for some time, but changed, perhaps. All too much, Sandra knew everything, and the papers, so I had to. Pills, plastic bag, had to get out. Needed a break. Hurting. I thought the hurting would stop. The wood of suicides has changed since my last visit to hell. I remember it as a tiny grove. Now it resembles a forest. Hell is changing. And you just have all these piles of wood saying hurt and hurting, essentially. That's really sad. Okay. That's not depressing at all. See, I really don't know how to make this focus better. I don't know if moving forward would help. Let's see. Okay, that actually helped quite a bit. Back to where I was, though. Upon your right are souls entombed, to pity an ugly sight. Never trust a demon. He has 100 motives for anything he does. 99 of them, at least, are malevolent. Etrigan. Kai Chul, Dream Lord, I hoped one day you would come for me. Free me, my love, please. Etrigan, why did you bring me here? I greet you, Nada. It pains me to see you like this. Kai Chul, free me, Lord. You ordered me confined here. Your forgiveness can free me. I implore you, don't you love me? It has been 10,000 years, Nada. Yes, I still love you, but I have not yet forgiven you. Now, onward to the city. Ha 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 ha. Alright. So, by the way, there is another story somewhere where, like, we get more context to what's going on with that particular person, Nada, and like the story with her and Morpheus. However, it's not. I don't think it's in the mainline story. I think it's like a one-off somewhere else. Perhaps it's like, yeah, I think it's just like a prelude, or it might be a prelude, because I really like the paneling of this. I really like the paneling as well. It's very, very well done. I think the art in general is fantastic. But that previous page, like the paneling is quite creative actually. But yeah, the story with Nada and everything, I would have to take a look and see exactly where that's located. If it's in this issue, we'll find out. If not, I'll try to see where I can fit it in, because it's quite interesting to see that story. I think there are quite a few short stories like that, where it just gives more context and history about the character. All right. So now we're on this page. I almost skipped this page. Also, the artwork for the Castle of Hell is pretty dope. It's terrifying, but also pretty cool. It's very, very creepy looking, and it's asymmetric and stuff. It's just overall interesting in terms of how they decided to go about portraying that. We do not talk for the rest of the journey to this, the Hell City, Lucifer's palace. It too has changed. It echoes with loss and pain. The last time I came to this place, it was as an honored guest, an envoy from my own kingdom. This time I lack power. I lack my symbols of office. But I am still Dream, and the doors of the palace open as we arrive. We travel to the summit, past vasty halls that echo of screams and grunts and sighs and dust. Upstairs, that run with sweet blood. At the top of his mansion, he waits for us, alone. Greetings to you, Lucifer Morningstar. Hello. Hello, Dream. Etrigan, please leave us. We hear you were caught by mortals. Have a newly fledged demon, like a newly fledged demon. Sweet Morpheus, we expected better of you. Still, you are here now. Have you come to join forces, to ally your realm with ours, to acknowledge the sovereignty of Hell? You know my views on that, Lightbringer. Yes. Yes, we do. Your family are well, I trust. Destiny, death, despair, and the others? No matter. We assume that this is no social call. What do you want? My helm was stolen from me. I believe one of your demons has it. I would like it back. Now. If it were only that easy. Things have changed in Hell since you were last here. Buzzed. Oh, you see a little fly in the corner too? Okay. Things have changed? What are you trying to tell me, Lucifer Morningstar? That you no longer rule Hell? That the demons no longer follow your rule? Things do not change that much, proud one. But they do, Morpheus. Lucifer is indeed no longer sole monarch of the Nether regions. This is our co-monarch, Beelzebub, the Lord of Flies. We have met, so you spoke the truth, proud Lord of Lies. Hell is now a triumvirate. But no, it's a triumvirate. Azazel will join us shortly. He is the third lord of hell. Some years ago, the dark, the shadow creature, came forth to challenge heaven. The episode ended in perhaps a stalemate. But the civil war in hell that ensued, tipping the precarious balance of power. We rule in coalition now, Azazel, Beelzebub, and I. Three kings in darkness. I am Azazel. Welcome, Dream King. Hell, a triumvirate. Things change indeed. Very well. I seek a demon who has stolen my helm of office. I wish it back. Which demon? Zen. Name it, and we will bring it here. There are more than 1,000,000 after all. I do not know the demon's name. Then let us summon all of them to tell and meet them on the vastly plains of hell. Okay, this is another fantastic page. I don't know if you're seeing it as one full spread, but I am. It is so nice looking. And what I noted the other day is this guy right here. He looks exactly like that monkey, like Shaman from The Lion King. And I had to mention that again here today because that's just really funny to me. Anyway, yeah, so there. Now, Dream King, tell us, which demon has your helmet? I look at the demons. Some I recognize from nightmares. Others have passed through the dream world in the past, but there are so many. One of you has my helm, my mask of pure dream. I crafted it myself from the bones of a dead god. It is one of my tools. Ah. Using some magics. That one. Corazon, a duke of hell, one of Beelzebub's. Well, Corazon, does Dream speak truly? Do you indeed have his mask of office? What if I have? You may not talk to us that way, Corazon. Have you the helmet? Return it to me. I traded it from a mortal. For a paltry thing, but it was a fair trade. I have broken none of the laws of hell. If you want your precious back, then you must fight me for it. A challenge. I do not know if I am strong enough. I truly do not know. Very well. Yes, I challenge you, Corazon. So, as the challenged, I choose the battlefield. I assert reality. Let me center my camera a bit. This way. There we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another thrill-packed evening of fun here in the Hellfire Club. I am your host, Corazon, High Duke of the Eighth Circle, captain of the Horde of Lord Beelzebub. Tonight, for your entertainment and delectation, did not know how to pronounce that. That tripped me up a little bit. A formal challenge. As the challenged, I set the meter and take the first move. And the challenger's dream, once the master of the realm of sleep. So, let's have a big hand for Mr. Sandman. It has been a long time since I was forced to play such games with demons. I rise slowly, approach the stage. Around me, a soft susurrus of sound and a languorous, ironic applause. The Hellfire Club. It feels like a bad joke. And, like everything else in hell, it is deadly serious. Also, I really like how Dream is just dressed like a blues musician. He just got his like suit and little hat on. Very cool. So, you know the rules, Dream Lord. If you win, I will return your helmet. If you lose, you will serve as a plaything of hell for eternity. Our slave. Very well. I have the first move. I am a direwolf, prey-stalking lethal prowler. My move. I am a hunter, horse-mounted, wolf stabbing. I smell split alcohol, stale smoke and cheap sex, perfume and mold, and I feel the grass beneath my hooves, the flanks between my legs. All is real, nothing is real, Corazone's move. I am a horsefly, horse stinging, hunter throwing. There are many ways to lose the oldest game. Failure of nerve, hesitation, being unable to shift into a defensive shape, lack of imagination. I am a spider, fly-consuming, eight-legged. I am a snake, spider-devouring, poison-toothed. I am an ox, snake-crushing, heavy-footed. I feel the snake writhe beneath my hoof, its spine crushed. I am an anthrax, butcher bacterium, warm life destroying. I change in direction, but still an old gambit. I think I understand how Corazon plays. How I can turn it against him. I think I will abandon the offensive. I am a world, space floating, life nurturing. Got the look of Lucifer in the background, just drinking some wine, I guess. I am a nova, all exploding, planet cremating. I am the universe, all things encompassing, all life embracing. I am anti-life, the beast of judgment. I am the dark, at the end of everything, the end of universes, gods, worlds, of everything. And what will you be then, Dream Lord? I am hope. Slurb, okay. Oh, then I am I don't know. Where are the twins? Where are agony and ecstasy? Take this pathetic creature from our sight. Demonstrate to him our displeasure. We hear and obey, Lord. No, not this. King Beelzebub, liege Lord, protect me, please. Bzz, here, Dream Lord. This is your helmet. You have won it fairly. Take it. I thank you. The kings of hell are honorable. I will remember this. Honorable? You joke, surely. Look around you, Morpheus. The million lords of hell stand arrayed about you. Tell us why we should let you leave. Helmet or no, you have no power here. What power have dreams in hell? And now we're going to get my favorite line of this issue. I heard it again in the show, and I read it again yesterday, and I was like, this is definitely my favorite line in this issue. It's fantastic. You say I have no power. Perhaps you speak truly. But you say that dreams have no power here? Tell me, Lucifer Morningstar. Ask yourselves, all of you, what power would hell have if those here... Really? Car driving by right as I'm about to finish this fantastic line. Alright, there we go. Ask yourselves, all of you, what power would hell have if those here imprisoned were not able to dream of heaven? Such a fantastic line right there. Honestly, that's so badass. That's so great. Anyway, yeah, let's keep going. Silently, they move aside, unable to meet my gaze. And walking steadily, My helm at my side. I take my leave of hell. My hopes fulfilled. One day, my brothers, one day I shall destroy him. Alrighty. Now, that's the end of the issue, but we do get a little epilogue here on this final page, which is like a bit of a sneak preview for the next chapter or next issue, whatever you want to call it. And so it says, so it goes in Arkham Asylum, by the way. Hey, D, Destiny, whatever your name is. Afraid I got some bad news for you, geek. Huntoon, okay. Huntoon says to tell you your mother's croaked. She's dead. Seems she wanted to give you this. Catch. Thank you, mother. It's what I've always wanted. Yeah, it's like just a pendant with an eyeball on it. I wonder what that's going to do. But yeah, that is the end of issue number 3 of the Sandman. I hope you enjoyed. I think it's just you, Alex, in the chat, but that's okay. Regardless, I enjoyed reading that yet again. I hope you enjoyed my reading. I did some more practice from yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to do some slightly different alterations with the way that I'm talking for the different characters. Although when there are like smaller characters that just appear, I've been unsure as to how to take some of those. However, you know, I've just been having some fun with it. It's been a good time. That being said, I did also want to share this box. Oh wait, there are multiple people in the chat. Okay, I'm confused because for some reason it only says there's one concurrent viewer, which is very odd, and it looks like there's both you, Shannon, and Alex in the chat, so that's interesting. Yeah, that's really weird that it doesn't show both of you there. But anyway, yeah, the imagination battle I think is pretty cool. I think they actually did a good job of showing that in the show. And, you know, if you guys want to, I would recommend maybe like watching the show either concurrently, or you could watch it once I finish volume 1. Either way, definitely recommend watching the show at some point because it's really, really good. It was on top of Netflix's like list for shows, like top 10 or whatever, for a couple weeks, so I'd highly recommend checking that out if you get the opportunity. And I can also probably let you guys know once I get through everything that is relating to what was shown in the show. There are a couple of smaller stories that I'm not sure if they were in the exact same spot chronologically, but I would find out as I'm reading with you guys anyway. But yeah, what I wanted to mention with the robots is I got this box recently. I'd been looking at this for a while, and it's essentially a box of, and let me actually move this closer. It is a box of robots that, if this will focus, there we go, of 7 robots that I can put together. Found out yesterday that for whatever reason they don't actually come with batteries, so I will have to order those separately, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. What I'll have to find out is if there's a way to get coin batteries that are also rechargeable. I don't actually know. I think they do get recharged, or they can be recharged because the one sitting in your computer is always being recharged, so not certain on that, but I think that is the case. That being said, yesterday I did open up one of these, but just so you guys can see what some of these actually look like, I'll just pull them out, all of them out, and just show you. So out of the box, and put down the one that I actually opened. Let's see, yeah. So you get, these are the other 6. I opened up one of them, but they're just these circuit boards that you can put together by soldering them. Let's see if it'll focus. But yeah, this is what they look like. They like snap off and everything. And then, yeah, it's still not focusing. There you go. Yeah, so you can see like there's just like a bunch of different pieces here, and you can snap them apart. And these are like the other 6. I grabbed the one that is on the box cover because I thought it looked cool. It kind of looks like a rooster or a chicken or something like that, just with the way that it's shaped. That's the closest thing that it reminds me of. The only other things in the box is like a bag of little parts, so mostly like LEDs, and there are also motors in here as well. But that's everything that's in the box. The actual one that I had already opened, just to show you guys, this is what remains of the actual like circuit board because I pulled everything off. But I have everything in this little baggie here. And yeah, so I'm gonna just dump these back on my table. I do need to set up my camera, which I will use my phone for. I will be right back. Actually, I need like a minute to do that. Okay, I am back. So let's see how this looks. I think the camera location is pretty good. Probably. Let me move this slightly further back just so it's covered. Okay, I think that's a pretty good view. Maybe lower this slightly. Yeah, we're gonna go with that for now and hope that's okay. So let me move. I think my area is pretty clean, apart from items that I'm actually gonna need. So to start off with, I do need to reorganize some of these. The one thing that I did yesterday was I did solder this component together. So this was a board and this was like a separate metal component. So this is where the coin battery would be, and this is like the bottom of the robot. That's the only thing that I did so far. I gathered the LEDs that I needed. So for this one, I needed 2 orange LEDs, and then 4 red ones. So I'll move those off to the side for now. And then I also have these 2, which are also LEDs, but they're surface mount LEDs, which just means that they lay flat on the circuit board. They don't go through the board like these ones. These would be called like through-hole pieces because they actually go through the actual circuit board like this. And then these ones are surface mount because they just sit on the surface of the actual board. So that's essentially what that means. And so the actual pieces are just like small pieces of PVC, or PCB, not PVC, PCB, which is just like whatever circuit boards are. That's just what they're called. So what I'm going to start with is organizing this like pile here to make sure I know what everything is again. The only other item here is a motor. I'm going to move that off to the side as well. And then, so let's move this over as well. All right, so let me also just pull up my, oh, I already have it open. Okay, I have the schematic open already. And I can share this with you guys too, since it kind of does look interesting. Let's see. Not this one, not that one either. Let me switch which screen this is looking at actually. Instead of just an infinite loop of myself. Display capture, properties. Display 2. There we go. Okay. So this is what this actually looks like. Let's see. Yeah, so this is what the robot's going to end up looking like right here. And this was just like a list of parts. Yeah. So moving on, and I guess there's just a disclaimer here that I don't really have to use the LEDs in the order that they want me to use them. It's like up to whatever I want to do. I think I'm just going to go with what they say for this one so that I get my bearings a bit. This is what the actual board looks like. This is what it initially looked like. This was the front of the board. This was the back of the board or this was the front of the board. This is the back of the board. I realized my mouse was on the other screen over OBS. And let's move this back over here. Yeah, there will be soldering. Yes. Yeah, and yes, they're more technical than like basic, like purchased things that you would just buy online and just put together quite easily. This is like actually putting everything together. I knew that was going to be the case. That's why I purchased them. But it was definitely more complicated than I thought it might be yesterday. I think the biggest complication here is what's actually on the next page, or actually the page after. So let's rotate clockwise. Yeah. So essentially it has this warning here at the top and I'm like, I don't really get what you're trying to say with this warning. I think I understand it vaguely, but I think it's mainly just saying like to make sure these two pieces are soldered, or actually no. It's saying to solder these two pieces and then these two pieces, but I'm like, all right, cool. Hopefully I remember to do that, I guess. I don't really know what the downside would be of soldering over here, because I would think that, oh wait, actually, that's positive. Oh wait, okay, I do understand what the issue is there. Actually, that makes sense, because yeah, I haven't taken an engineering course in a while. That took me a second to realize. I wasn't really thinking about this as much electrically, but yesterday. But I guess it's just saying that if voltage is flowing through, it should go from positive to negative devices. So if you have like two resistors, it would be positive to negative, and the next one would also be positive to negative. So you're trying to do the same thing here to keep it consistent. So, okay, that makes sense. I just wasn't really thinking about it yesterday. Now I understand what they're trying to say. Let me go back up here though to organize my parts and probably also copy this so that I can look at both screens simultaneously. Let's see. Do I have a snipping tool open? Let's rotate this back first. There we go. Just move that over so I have that very clear when I'm looking at this page. And then just to double check. Okay, that's just telling you to insert the battery. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the big thing here is making sure I know which parts are what and then organizing what I have. So what I'm going to start with is just making sure these are all facing the correct orientation and everything. So piece number Okay, these are on the sides. This is the head. Let's move it further up so you guys can actually see. So this is the head. These are the two side pieces. This was a body, right? And then let's see. So this is actually on this side and this side, I think. These parts seem to mirror each other, so I don't think it actually matters. Okay, so that doesn't actually matter, but just leave them like that. And then the reason I'm organizing these is just so I know what's what, because I don't want to get lost. This piece is part number 2. And when I removed them the other day, I had them like this, but I had to put them away before bed because I use this table for other things. So these two parts, are they the same? Let's see. So we got... let's see. Yeah, these two parts actually look exactly the same. Just so you can tell what I'm doing, essentially, I'm just making sure that these look exactly the same on both sides, because that just means that they're the exact same part. On the schematic, which you can't really see super well here, but let me just move this over. Like this half here looks different in some parts to this. The clearest instance of that is the head. Yeah, so that's the main thing that I'm trying to make sure I understand about the different parts. So I got those figured out, and then I have 1 and 2. Are these also the same? I think so. Yeah, these also look the same. Hopefully I'm correct on that front, but that's fine. If I'm wrong, it just won't work. It's not going to be a big issue. I think either way they look cool, so that's more why I wanted them, because I thought they looked dope. And I also just wanted to practice soldering again, so that's the main purpose behind me getting these to begin with. I believe these parts might also be exactly the same. I think so. Oh, these are a little low. I think so. Yep, these are also the same to me. So put those there. And then I got these two, which I'm just going to very quickly look at these because I think they're the same as well. Yeah, these are exactly the same too. So just put those there. And then I have this little hat thing, which goes up there. Okay, so that's all the parts. If you want to take a closer look, let's just show you guys. That's what they all look like right there. It's pretty close to just, exactly what it looked like before. Let me fix this angle. Okay, I think that's good enough for now, probably. Anyway, so now that I have all the parts ready, what I'm going to do is go back to here. So let's see what I want to put together first. So if I put this headpiece on, I can't tell which order it wants me to put these in. So let me think here. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so it's negative then positive terminals. Okay. I essentially was just looking at this image to see how these plugged in, and it looks like it's negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, and then the other side is the reverse of that. So what I'm going to have to do is double check something. So on the actual image, the order is red, red, yellow, or orange, red. Just gonna do that. I need to double check which of these is the anode versus cathode, like which is the positive and negative terminals, just because it's been a long time since I've looked at something like that. And even when I was in college, I would forget with like the specific LED parts if the longer was the positive or negative terminal. So LED cathode anode diagram. Okay. So positive side is longer, which means it is the anode. Okay. So these are the anodes. Okay. There we go. So I got that situated. So essentially, I just need to plug this in here. Okay, I was curious as to how, if that would actually fit very well. And then it's going to be interesting to see if this ends up shorting. Wait a second. That's really odd. Okay. This diagram is kind of odd to me because there are holes for each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there are less holes here than what should be used. Okay. So I think instead only one of these goes through the hole, and then the other one just touches this big metal piece here. That's weird. Okay, that's an interesting design choice. So essentially, I think this metal, like, don't know if you guys can see it. So this metal, like, golden piece here at the bottom, like this, like, arc piece, is going to touch all of the negative terminals. And then the actual, like, holes are going to touch all the positive terminals because on the other side, they're all connected. That's weird. I was not expecting that at all. Let me take a look at the chat in case y'all are confused. Um, yeah, I mean, I am kind of winging it. I honestly thought that considering this is meant for more for like hobbyists, that this would be an easier read. But I am getting corrected, I guess, on that front. I guess also here it does show, which I guess I kind of got caught up looking at the other page, but over here it does show all of the positive terminals touching up here. And then 2. Oh, right, this is part number 2. Yeah, that's intriguing. I do wonder if maybe it's another part that it's supposed to connect to. Let's see here. So part number 1, I believe, is this guy. Yeah, so there's quite a bit going on here. Let's see. So this part connects to the head. And then this is the part that it's going to go in. Okay. I don't have a file. I might need a nail file because some of these like pieces that I broke off have a chip on them. And I don't think it's going to be easy for me to just slice it away like this. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to get my nail file real quick and use that because might as well. 1 second. Let me check if I have a file on this guy because let's see here. I do have a file on this guy. Okay. All right. So let's file this down. Let me see if it'll be easier to hold it like this. Nope, no it will not. I'm gonna hold it with my fingers. It's fine for soldering, not. Let's do it this way. That way I have a bit more control on the actual thing. Hopefully that doesn't bother your ears too much. I don't know how loud that is on the mic. I mean, it is shaving down. I just don't know how quickly it's gonna be able to shave all the way. Okay, we're getting close here. Let's just see if it'll fit through now. Nope. It has to be perfect, of course. Of course it has to be perfect here. Oh well. I'll get it through at one point. But yeah, I mean, that's getting pretty close. It's definitely better than it was a second ago. Sorry, I wasn't showing you guys actually. Oop. Where'd that go? But yeah, this is a much more involved thing than I thought it was. Like, I thought it was like, oh, you have all your parts, just solder it all together. It'll be easy. But I do kind of also like it because, I mean, it's something to do. Also, it's a fun challenge. And it like helps me. Eventually, I'll be able to solder. Alright, we're getting pretty close now. Can I force it through? No, I cannot. Okay. Also got to be more careful now because I don't want to over file this and I don't want to break it. Okay. Hopefully that's enough because it's essentially invisible now to me. We'll see. It's like a little bump. Let it in. There we go. Forced it through. Is that another? There's another spot. Wonderful. There's a second filing spot. Is that just gonna be stuck there now? Let me try filing that spot. Oh, there we go. Got it off. Okay, that hopefully will get everything through now. Okay, there we go. Got part number one. We got like the little back piece on this like little neck thing. All right, so that's one piece down. We got 2 connected, or 16 connected to 1, right? That's the way that it goes. Watch this having been like the wrong part. That'd be really funny. Let's see. So yeah, 16 is the top piece. This is 1 right here, the longer thing. Okay, so I got those connected. And essentially, I need to... I don't know if I need to solder, how I need to solder this. See, it's not very clear about that either. Okay, so I got that, and then this piece is going to connect to the head. Like that. Oh, I put this on upside down. Wonderful. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is what the head's actually going to look like, or supposed to look like, I think. You can double check with the picture. Let's see. Yep, that is what it's supposed to look like. The big question is, where am I soldering? Where? This is not really good in terms of instructions. I believe they do have video instructions somewhere. You know what? Let me take a look at that real quick and see what's going on there. So voodoo box. Okay, so we got the instructions on their website. Let's look for a video instructional manual. Okay, so apparently they have a tutorial for each of these guys, which is like 40 minutes. I think I will have this going on in the background. I'm not going to have my audio on for it. I'm just going to have it playing a bit. uh, you know what? Actually, yeah, I'm just going to put this on there. Okay, let's see. So let's put in my headphones. See if I can figure this out. So I don't really need to check out their disassembly stuff or assembly stuff because I already did that. So they got all the parts. Oh, they started exactly where I did. Although that is a bad solder job. Okay. It's an interesting choice to do it that way. Oh, that's so weird. That's a strange way to go about doing it. I guess whatever works. Okay, let's see. Okay, so they're just building everything off of the base, I guess. Okay, this is going to be much easier to do if I'm looking at this. So let's just, you know what, let's just continue the way that they're doing it from the base and see if I can figure things out. So I have this base piece here that I already set up. I'm going to switch over to this view so that it's clearer. You can see it a bit better. And then on top of that, I'm adding parts 6 and 8, which are these two guys. Okay. And move the file out of the way as well. Okay. So I just have to attach these guys like this. See if it fits. Hopefully it will, because it's supposed to. Oh, is that why they filed it down? That makes sense now. I was wondering why they would file it down, but it's because they won't fit anymore on here because I have too much solder at the bottom. Okay. That actually makes sense now. Let's just see what is he just soldering them right there? I think so. There's a pack of dogs outside, I guess. Okay, so let's see here. This guy drilling a hole? What the hell? Alright, let me show you guys what I'm watching, because I'm like, how am I supposed to do all of this with a basic, like, component? Let's see. Let's switch back views. Okay, so essentially this guy just starts putting pieces together, and now he's just drilling a hole here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you drilling a hole there? Um, that's very odd to me. I guess his part just isn't fitting. I mean, mine does, so I don't know why he needed to do that. That's very odd. That was an odd choice. Anyway, that was just strange to me. Let's go back to the instructions. So this guy is gonna go here. Let me just see which way was the front. So this is the front. Okay. I believe it just goes like that. Is that what his video looks, this dude's video looks like? It's very concerning. Well, I'm not really like, no, he doesn't have any audio. Like it's just like background music. So I was like, oh, there's really no point in me having my headset in for this, but yeah, it's really odd. Um, which is strange because I really like the product. It's just kind of difficult to decipher some of the things. It also looks like he's just, let's just see what else this dude does. Okay, he's finally soldering. Okay. So it looks like it's getting soldered up here for these two pieces. All right. That makes sense. I understand what they're doing. Let's shave this down a bit. Okay, made that a little smaller just so it's a little less conspicuous. Okay, so what I need to do is connect these two pieces. In order to do that, I guess I don't want to sand, or I don't want to make this smaller, so I'm just going to heat up my solder and hope things work out. Let's see. Still plugged in, so turn it back on. Just drop that on the floor because why not? Okay, so the way I'm going to do this, so I'm going to hold this guy here, and then I'm going to melt or heat up this section, and then I'm going to put this back on. Let me switch views so you guys can see better. There we go. And I guess I need to move this further back for you guys. So essentially I'm taking this piece here, just holding it down by this clamp. Might actually use a second support here as well, if I can. There we go. And then I'm just gonna melt down this section and then put on this piece. Hopefully I can do that without causing any problems. We'll just have to see on that front. So, and also just to double check, so this is the flat side that has this on it. Okay. So it'd go like this. Okay, so it's gonna be a bit of a challenge to trying to get that on there, but I'll try my best. So I got this. I don't need any solder for the moment. Is there a better way to do this? Okay, you know what? Instead of holding it this way, I'm gonna hold it this way so I can more easily grab the parts. Okay. That works. There we go. Okay. So, just so you guys are aware, because I don't know if either of you guys have ever seen any soldering shenanigans before. But essentially what I'm doing is using the solder, gonna melt this solder over here because I already put this on earlier. And then I'm just gonna shove this in there and hope it works out, because yeah. I think I'm putting this on correctly, right? So normally it would be oriented this way, that would be flipped, so yes. A lot of juggling in my brain to make sure I'm orienting things correctly right now. Let's see. Okay, I am feeling some heat. Hopefully there is enough. I just played around with which direction this was. Okay, so it goes like this. Cool. Oh, let me turn on my fan as well. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. Let me know if it's too loud. But either way, you might just have to bear with it for a second. Okay. So essentially I'm just trying to remove any excess metal here to make this flatter, and hopefully that'll work. Now just try to shove this in. No, it's still a little, still too, like, too much, I guess. Burn myself a little bit. It looks pretty uniform, it looks pretty flat, so I don't really know. Probably should have just pulled it off there. Okay. Oop. So this is the way that it was oriented. Let's see. Alright, so we got this piece and this guy. Hopefully... And it kind of... It fits better than it did a second ago. Let's see. Okay, it's not all the way. Yeah, it doesn't fit all the way yet. Alright, so... What I'll do is... There we go. Hmm. I mean, that kind of works. It's just not all the way in, though. Which... I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be further in. Hmm. Which is very annoying, because it's super flat now. Like, it's literally just the PCB and the actual piece. So I'm like, why is this still a problem? I don't comprehend. Um, that's getting really hot. Okay. I don't want to accidentally burn myself as I fling around this soldering iron towards my body. Let's see. I'm really trying my best just to shave this off, but it does not seem to want to do that. Okay. Let's try it one last time. It's already 9, so I might end up just having to call it because it's taken so long. But let's see if I can make at least a modicum of progress here. So... Alright, so we got this partially sitting on the side, but it's not really connected. Are we getting closer? No, we're not. Okay, so that just doesn't feel like connecting right now. I'll have to figure out if there's a better way. I really don't want just I mean, I could just shave this down, but it's going to be really annoying to try and do that again here. Because this time it's metal as opposed to just like some PCBs. Yeah, I would assume, because like I saw these initially because a comp sci or like a person who works in like computer science had like talked about it a few months ago. Um, However, it's like, and it seemed like she had a pretty decent job with putting it together without much issue. But I'm really like surprised by that, considering how difficult this seems here. Um, okay, so I think this is as close as I'm gonna get. Yeah, and it's very, very slippery still. Okay, it's pretty much on there now. As I say that, it slips out. Wonderful. Okay, I believe the guy soldered this piece on as well in the video, so I think that's what I'm gonna do right now. I think, let's see, where did he solder? This is so interesting to see because I would have, like, the solder jobs on this video are not the best, and I'm like, do they not have an electrical engineer or someone who's like been in those types of courses doing the demos? Because I don't know, it just looks very different from anything that I've seen of like soldering videos. Because like, I don't know, it's just really weird to me. I am very curious who ended up making these videos, but anyway, I think I figured out how to, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solder these two pieces together right now. The way that that guy did it, though, isn't necessarily a bad way. It's just, it's not as pretty. So, I mean, it'll get the job done. Okay. So I got this, and oh, wonderful. Immediately just slips out. Okay. So the way I can do this is by rotating this guy, and then trying to get this to be the correct positioning. Okay. I think I can get this. It's just, I honestly, I awkwardly spotted it, or placed this just now. But essentially I'm just connecting this spot here to this gold plate here. There's a bit more of a gap than I probably would appreciate, but it's fine. If I can bridge them, it'll be good enough, at least for this project. So, how do I want to go about doing this? I made a very odd angle just now. Could be. It'd be easier to go about it this way. Dang, a different tip would actually be really nice right now. I'm not gonna be able to switch it out though, because it's already hot. Let me add some flux as well. Okay. Yeah, it should be nice and hot now. Probably didn't get the best angle of that, but that's okay. I think I need some more solder, to be honest. Okay, so I bridged that. It's pretty much fine. My fan is really not doing anything right now. Let's move it a little closer. That's pretty loud, probably. Okay. Okay, so I got that part done. Woohoo. It's very top heavy because of the magnifying glass. Okay, and that's pretty okay to me for that. It's pretty much a 90-degree angle here, I think. So I think it did a good job. Even though there was a bit of a gap there, I think it's okay. So now I got one other piece. Probably gonna have to do the same exact process here. Unless this one just wants to slip on. I don't think it will though. Yeah, it won't. Oh, you know what? I could probably connect this as well. I'll leave it for now. Okay. Yeah, so that's even more. Let's see if this actually does anything. It does. Hopefully this doesn't ruin my file. Although I never really use it for anything like this one anyway, because it's just part of my multi-tool. Okay. I doubt that this is thin enough right now. Yeah, it's definitely not. Nope. Okay, that's pretty thin now. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, similar issue, man. Still, struggling there. Okay. Let's use my solder a bit. Oh, there we go. Now it's finally getting sucked up. Yeah, the metal here is pretty heated now. Oh, wrong way. Okay. So if I want to do this again, gotta be able to view this side. Okay. So just gonna hope for the best on this one as well. I'm just gonna try to do the same thing on this side. There's a bit more of a gap here, but I mean, it'll be covered up by some solder anyway, so we'll kind of hope for the best. Let's see. All right. Okay, and this time it should be easier because I angled it a bit better. Actually, move this closer. Oh, I need more solder, so not try not to get burned. There we go. And there we go. Okay, I think that looks good enough. Alright, let's show off progress for today. Ah, that's hot. That's still hot. Okay. It looks pretty flat. Let me get a better angle for you guys. Also turn off my fan now, because I'm not using that. Finally, I no longer have any background noise. Okay. So this is what the part actually looks like. Right here. Got both sides soldered together. I think it looks pretty decent. It's still quite hot, so I gotta make sure I don't mess with it too much. All right, so we got the base down. I believe, was it this way? I'm just gonna leave that there for now. But yeah, that's the start of the robot. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It's more time consuming than I thought. So I believe, does this go here? Yeah, I think it's like this pretty much. And then we got the arms and stuff. But definitely starting things off at a good start. I think I'm going to end here because it's getting a little late. However, I am very glad that I made some more progress. I was more lost yesterday than I am today. So, yeah, definitely moving and failing forward. Hope you guys enjoyed, though. I will catch you guys maybe next Monday. That's my plan. We'll see if I do. I'm gonna commit to 1 day a week, but we'll see what happens moving forward. But yeah, that's all for tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you guys next week.